Okay, we are recording.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing, Tony?
Nice to see you.
Doing good.
Yes.
Good to see you. See you, Joe. I sit beside you.
Okay, July Park and Recreation Committee meeting is now called to order. 4:07 PM. How's everybody doing? Minutes. Gina, did you review the minutes? Do you have questions?
I sure did.
Okay, are we ready to approve the April and May minutes?
Motion to approve.
We have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Who was the second, Tom?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna open it up to public comment. And I know there's some people here that want to speak, I believe. And I just, in the interest of time, not cutting you off and not trying to be that way, but I'm gonna limit it to 5 minutes. Is that fair? Will that cover everything?
Yeah, you
And
might,
you can defer if somebody else.
Yep.
you know,
you might have
chimes
to add to discussion if you want to.
in. Yeah, that's.
Can I move over here?
Because if
Yes, yeah.
if you're all here for pickleball, you can do your comments now, but you're on the agenda. too.
Yeah, just right now, yeah.
I didn't know.
Wait. Okay, do that. So, yeah, give us your comments right now, then we'll get into a discussion part of it later. It's the public comment part. We're supposed to just listen.
Great, sounds good.
So have at it.
All right, well, I'm Ed Ivaldi in Boxwood Lane, and I'm here on behalf of the Bridgewater Pickleball Club. Paul Ramponi and myself are actually on the board, and we invited Jim and Joe to come, obviously, because they've been involved for quite a while. I want to spend just a couple of minutes, and I have a handout for you, if that's okay, just to kind of, I want to read through some information about the club and provide you with some insight as you make your decisions going forward relative to the club. First, I want to talk a little bit about, the fact that we have a club is providing value to our town. I want to just briefly describe what that value is. We're basically broken into 4 categories here. First of all is just court management. One of the things the club does is we maximize the use of the court time by having as many events there as we can, by encouraging members to come and play during different times, inviting friends. The courts are used quite often, actually. We create opportunities for small groups to come in. We have lessons, drills, ladders. We have round robins that are going on there now during the evenings in particular. We're also, we provide revenue to the town. We're giving 20% back based on the membership fees that we charge every year. And in general, it's providing a better play experience for everyone who's there because it's really run well. It's very organized, it's very structured, and so it provides a very positive experience for those people that play. And we minimize negative behavior. We've talked with many towns around us that don't have a management structure in place for their courts. And there's a lot of, issues at the courts, fighting going on. People don't get off the courts. All the people come in, bad language, substances that shouldn't be there. There's all kinds of things going on in the towns around us. We don't have any of that right now, fortunately. As far as the court maintenance, we pretty much do most of the court maintenance, and that includes trash pickup, weed control. We install the windscreens and remove them. We inspect the court surfaces on a regular basis, and we work with the Parks and Rec Department to provide remediation for those cracks as they come up. And we just ensure better quality courts for the future. If we're not there inspecting them, looking at what's going on and maintaining them, long-term, they're gonna degrade over time. It's a great source for community engagement. The courts, the membership right now, the people down there are just so awesome. There's a real sense of community. The people that go down there, every morning you go, it's just a great sense of camaraderie for the people that are down there. Social interaction for a lot of seniors. We have a lot of seniors that play down there. Normally, they wouldn't be doing anything. They come down, they make friends, They establish relationships with people. Pickleball is sort of the starting point for that to happen, and it's working out really well. There's diverse age groups, it creates opportunities for community events and tournaments, promotes physical health for the citizens that are down there, and just being outdoors. It's great. Otherwise, a lot of these people wouldn't be outdoors. And last but not least is just the safety aspect. The club maintenance that we do on the courts provide for a very safe and well-maintained environment, reducing risks to injury and potentially liability for the town. It ensures long-term sustainability for the courts themselves. So we understand that there have page 2, there's been some complaints from citizens that, hours are limited to them. And we understand that maybe a decision has already been made by this body and Parks and Rec to reduce the number of courts down from 6 to 4 courts for the membership. Just want to talk a little bit about that. What that's going to do for the membership basically is increase wait time for the people that show up. We average 30 to 40 people there on a morning. So if all 6 courts are being used, that's 24 people that are playing. And then we usually have 2 groups of 4 that are waiting with the 6 courts that are being fully used. If we go down to 4 courts, that's going to make the wait time even more almost unbearable for some of these people. So we run the risk of these people leaving. And basically the club will dissolve. That's the position that we are taking right now, is if this goes through, we're not going to continue with the club anymore. Another option was to adjust or reduce the member hours. Right now, we're meeting 35 hours a week, Monday through Friday, 7 to 11 in the morning and 4 to 7 at night. If we reduce those hours, we're going to reduce the playable hours for the members as well, and that's going to impact them negatively, and we believe the club is going to dissolve if that happens. What I presented here is 4 other options that we think we need to discuss and maybe, take under advisement with this body. One is anybody that shows up during member hours, they just pay a $5 fee. So we could ask non-member residents to pay the $5 fee. It's not a huge amount of money. The other thing we could do is ask non-member residents just to play during member hours. In other words, let them play as members, but don't charge them. We could do that as well. We could grant scholarships to those non-member residents who wanted to play. There are some families that want to play and they don't want to pay the $50 a year to join. We could give them a free membership. Last but not least, maybe we need to add some new courts. Maybe we need to expand. I mean, we're busting at the seams down there right now as far as during the member hours. We have over 300 members right now. Last page. If the club dissolves, then most of the stuff that you saw on page 1, all the value that we're adding to the town, that's not going to happen. That's going to disappear. There's going to be increased safety concerns. The courts over time are going to degrade. There's going to be risk to injury of anybody that goes down there over time, potentially increasing liability for the town. And just a negative impact on the community. Conflicts are going to arise. There's going to be disagreements over court usage, substances brought onto the courts, loud music, potentially disrupting the nice community harmony that we have right now. I've gone down there a couple of evenings after member hours, and I can tell you there are people that are bringing coolers onto the courts. They bring food out there. They have loud music. There's swearing. It's just, and a lot of these people aren't even Bridgewater residents. They just come because they know we have great courts, and they'll come, and this is what happens.
What do you say to them when that happens?
Well, if first they ask them if they're from Bridgewater, and they say no. We say, well, we have rules here as far as, not bringing substances onto the courts and so on and so forth. And most of the time they'll abide by that. But, if people are drinking, because there have been people drinking and smoking pot up there, then they'll get into confrontation with you. So last but not least is, we really want to continue to run and manage these courts professionally. I think we've added a lot of value, and it's only going to grow, and it's only going to get better and better over time. And it's gonna be a great thing for our town. And like I said, if you guys decide that you want to take those 2 courts away from us or reduce the hours, then the club's going to disband. So that's the position the board is taking right now. We'd like to, we don't want to eliminate anybody from playing. Our goal is to get as many people playing as possible, specifically residents. We don't feel $50 a year is a huge liability for people. And the other thing is, if I want to go down to Scotland Field during the evening and play with my kids, I can't do that because the softball teams are playing down there. Or if I want to go to Legion Field when the leagues are playing, I can't go there, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, my tax dollars went to those locations and they currently still are, but it doesn't bother me because I know that that's the way things are running. I don't understand why people can't have the same view of the pickleball courts. You go down there during certain hours and you can't go down there during other hours, or you can pay the $5 fee or join. It's that's kind of the position that we're taking. So that's what I have to say, and
We ask questions now, we're gonna hold.
Yeah, we
this-
might, if you guys are all fine, we can roll right into the pickleball discussion now, because that's.
or I don't know if the other guys.
Do you guys want
comment
to
at
add
all.
anything else? Or?
I mean, I'll just kind of echo, Ed did, I think, a tremendous job there. I'm Paul Ramponi from 100 Pleasant Drive, been a resident since 1980.
Excuse me, what was your name again?
Paul Ramponi,
Okay,
100
Thank you.
Pleasant Drive, like I said, moved to town in 1980. I just think this community, what it brings to the senior community, I'm a senior now, I think it's just a great feather in our cap as a town overall to have a structure like that. I think the things Ed picked up on in regards to, with less structure, there's gonna be more people just showing up, and I don't wanna talk about demographics of younger people with coolers and beers, but I've seen that. I've kindly told them, like, your kids shouldn't be running around the court, it's a safety hazard and stuff like that. I think if the committee we dissolve, it'll be a real detriment to the overall positive aspect of that to the overall town, whether you're a pickleball player or not. It's just another good thing about our community overall.
I'd just like to add to that also. I was down the Scotland Field. I helped with starting the softball. So I'm not against Little League. I got nothing. But every other organization runs the courts, that the property that they're on. Softball had a tournament this weekend. I went down and watched, I think it was New Bedford playing Fall River or something. They have 18 teams that play here and stuff like that. Also, you do get a donation from people all the town this way. If you do away with this, then there goes the donation. Yeah, $10,000, I think it was, people paying $100 to come down here and play. Also, there was a lot of effort put into it to build it. The plans and everything came from Naples, gave them to Charlie, and did it for about half the cost of Easton, and everyone that comes down there says it's the best courts they've seen. Tried everything to keep the cost down, so, I don't know.
We were all
Like I say-
involved in that, Jim.
Huh?
We were all involved in that.
Yeah.
We know what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying, it's, if you look at softball, right now, every night of the week, plus you let them play there sometimes on weekends, I think, plus they had tournaments involved. I mean, girls softball, they have tournaments, other towns come in, no one goes down to girls softball fields, that's town land. I just didn't realize how different people thought this. Last thing, and then I'll go, Emily, we promised her that if we did this and she wanted, there's a plan out there that they're supposed to put in a putting green and some raised vegetable things and everything, and not funding it. I don't know why not, but anyway.
I can answer that when you finish.
But anyway, we promised her that we now have 100 people, 200 people down there doing this. We're sure we'd get 40, 50 people to help her if she ever got into doing something. That was, of course, when Charlie was around, because we had built bocce court for him and stuff in the past. So that was, we said, we'll be down here. You need anything, let us know. We'll help you out. And also, we went and ran classes for a defibrillator and all that stuff. We're trying to get defibrillator down there. So if someone did have a problem, we could help them.
Is there one down there now? I thought you guys had one down there.
No, we have a
Inside the shed?
defibrillator.
It's outside.
Don't want to put it in the shed because it's no alarm on it or anything. So I'm trying to get it put on the outside of the senior center. And they had to talk to Chris, who's in charge of the buildings in town,
Yeah.
Department of Public Works. So that's where it sits.
Okay.
But we gave lessons for everybody. A lot of people know how to use it, know first aid. So it was for heart attacks down there, but just,
Let me get a.
I'm just saying, it'd be nice if,
No, I thought that was then we were keeping one down there.
The reason,
When we talked about it.
just
I wanna
quick,
talk
yes,
about getting it
just
down.
go back to what Jim said about Emily's plans for the senior center.
She's not.
They're more than likely not going to happen. She went to community preservation. It was, the amount was unbelievable. Out of everything that she had in the plan, the only thing that was, and it was stretching it, was the community gardens. Everything else, I don't think in her plan, she had the putting greens, the bocce courts. It was just all this other stuff.
But that's got nothing to do with us, that's.
Oh,
the
no,
senior
it's just
center.
answering.
No, I'm just saying that was
It
another
wasn't that.
thing we offered.
No, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would help with that, but let's,
Yeah.
Right, that's
Let's stick
what
to
I was
pickleball,
just
the week.
can't say.
our purview is pickleball.
So ultimately, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I was in favor of this. You know, we go back, you know, we heard many different, you know, these guys know because we've had it, we've seen it. A lot of people pitch different ideas to us, and the Bridgewater one coming to us was, you know, it seemed like it made the most sense. It seemed like it made the most sense, you know, Jeff had a plan, and I spoke with Joe, you know, initially too. Bruce, I believe, as well, was involved, and I thought it was great, you know, so we got through last year, so we revisited it this year as far as the hours go. You know, collectively, you know, and various, you know, people complaining that, you know, they can't get on the court or they're being charged. And that's always the ultimate thing is, I don't know if you have $5 in your pocket, you don't know if I have $5 in my pocket. We don't know, you know, but people, well, why can't I use it? I'm a taxpayer. Why can't I use it for free? And then there's the, well, look, you know, this is no different than if the baseball fields are all full, you can't use a field when they're on it. So I understand that aspect, and I'm not arguing that aspect whatsoever. I'm just saying I understand it. But collectively, as everybody had talked, you know, maybe they thought maybe if we did reserve, just keep 2 courts, you guys can still have your organization, it's just on less courts. And I understand the increased wait time that brings, you know, this is what I think, and this is not, please do not take this as being rude, because I don't mean it this way, okay? You got 300 members, you said almost 300 members in the pickleball, okay? You know, I understand your position is disband, you're gonna disband. I understand, okay? I don't think that does anybody any good. It doesn't do you guys any good. It doesn't do the town any good. I think we need to come up with an idea that works for everybody, that, you know, that our collective position, I guess, was to, you know, leave 2 courts open, okay? Maybe we cut back an hour, maybe we adjust hours, something like that. If it's the hard line stance that you guys are taking, that will just dissolve, I guess our response to that is, okay, then you dissolve. You know, but I don't want that to be the position, but that's just, this shouldn't be 2 hard-headed situations coming together and we can't come up with a solution. Dan?
Well, I was gonna ask a couple questions based on his comments. And they kind of lead one into another, just so I can get a better understanding, because over the last year or two, we've had different people come. And this committee is notorious for, he said or she said that they can't get on the courts, but he or she never shows up, you know what I mean? So we work on a lot of hearsay, so we have you here, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions if you don't mind. First of all, the 300 members, roughly, what's the percentage of Bridgewater residents?
It's about 55%.
55%, so, okay. In the hours that are currently, you say roughly 30 to 40 members from 7 AM to 11 AM. Are those 30 to 40 members there, they're not there the whole 4 hours?
No, they come,
Uh,
that over that.
30 to
4-hour
40
period.
over that whole
Yeah, and
time?
the same holds for in the evening as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Dan, I'll just say, no, there's more than 30 during that period.
Yeah.
Like there'll be 30 from 6:30 to 7:30, then there'll be more people coming in. It's a constant 30 to 40 people.
right,
So it could be
I may be there the first 2 hours or an hour, and then you're coming in later with
Yeah.
another group.
Right.
So there's always 30 to 40 people.
Right.
It's not the same 30 to 40, so over the course of 4 hours, it's probably more like 150,
people come,
100?
Easily.
Yeah.
Okay, members, which is great. During these times, because the issue was residents can't get on, how many non-members, how often does it happen that non-members show up and want to get on?
I've seen, we
Is it-
never
is it-
turned
is it a
anybody
problem?
away. Anybody that comes to play, they only have to adhere to the rules. I've got a cue board, you put your name on the board.
Right.
You don't know who you're gonna play with. If you come with 4 people, put your 4 names in 1 block. You go out on the court, you play a game, you come out, you put your name back on the board. When a court becomes available, you go back out again. We never deny anybody's ability to play.
Right.
What we do though, if somebody consistently starts showing up on a regular basis and they're a non-member,
We encourage
we
them to
encourage
be.
them.
I start showing up tomorrow, I pay $5, I wanna see what it's.
Yeah.
I'm there every day for the next 3 weeks, so like, hey, Dan, you know,
And then
Yeah,
it's
instead of
to your
$5, you
advantage
just
to
want
pay
you
the
to
fee.
join.
Yeah,
type of
we'll
thing.
encourage you to pay. Now, I'm only aware of one person that actually complained. We had a tournament back in June, and it was on a Sunday, and this gentleman showed up with his son to play. And because we had the tournament going, he couldn't play, and he
Right.
left in a huff. He was upset. And, I mean, I don't know, what are we supposed to
Well,
tell?
when you have a tournament, we're aware of that, right? You fill out a,
That's what I was gonna ask, did you do a special request for the tournament for that day?
because that wasn't,
Yes, it was
a
during
weekend.
club time.
Yeah, that would have been,
I don't know,
yeah,
it's a Sunday.
yeah,
It would
it was
be.
a, well, that's what I'm
It was
getting at.
weekend, it wasn't during club time, that's the
yeah,
problem.
it wasn't. Jeff, yeah, you're right. Request should have been made. Jeff
Request
should have
it.
made that request. I don't know if he did or not, so that's.
Because that would solve that problem. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like a Little League tournament. Sometimes you have a
Yeah,
fundraising tournament, they put in the building, field use permit
Right,
if it wasn't within your hours, which,
right.
and I'm okay with it. I mean, if I showed up at the court and I saw a tournament, oh, what's this all about? It's pretty, you know,
Right.
yeah, just,
I'm a little more reasonable than some
That's what I'm
people.
saying.
But no, so getting back to my questions, this is all good. I just, because it's,
mhm.
sometimes it's presented to us like, all these residents being told they can't play.
I've never seen anybody come and complain.
Right.
Nobody comes in and complains.
I've never seen.
I've had asked people, even in the off time, there are rules for the courts. If the courts are busy, you got people waiting, you don't stay out there. Put the board up. Use the queue system. That way, everybody gets to play.
Right, but as far as turning people away, people coming, they don't belong to the club. I think because we're halfway through the second year of it, people know 7 to 11, we can't play. So if Susie Q down the street wants to go play and it's 10 o'clock, she's not going to go because she knows she can't. So you wouldn't be turning
Yes,
someone
yes.
away.
That's not right. We allow people to come in.
Right, but they don't know that, Joe. They just know the club has it.
If they come in and they start talking to people and they ask questions. I've had more people come in and ask me questions. I said, sure, you don't need to play.
Right,
You
but I,
don't need
But
to.
is there a way on our website, the town website, the rec portion of it, that we could say that about the, I'm just thinking out loud here, that, yeah, there are club times, but
Yeah, there's a
All
walk-in.
residents
the residents are welcome.
If you only play
Non-member
1 or
residents
2
are
days a
welcome.
week,
It would
you
just
wanna pay $5.
benefit you guys, it benefit us as well, right? I mean, I think,
Yeah.
and then I think the problem is, like you said, people,
They don't
they
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
They think they know, but they don't know.
right.
Yeah, I wanna, Jim, you got something, Jim?
Yeah, I've seen more people when they come down, say they never played before. We say to them, someone takes them out and teaches them how to play during those hours, and other people don't mind that that's happening.
Yeah.
They just go out and teach them how to play. And the other thing, it isn't, I don't think we're being hard-headed, I know you, because it isn't that, there won't be nothing to run. We can't charge people money. to
Well,
join it.
it's not,
I'm just saying, it's not a threat, it's a fact. You know what? It won't really change. What's gonna be worse, if that person shows up with his kid and wants to play, and there's people on the courts on a Saturday morning, they're more apt not to come off. We actually had 12 guys come down, set up, and they would just keep sitting on the courts.
no,
I
I,
had to say, I'm just
no,
saying.
and I know, I understand that, and that's, and I know in my discussions with Jeff and, you know, and I know he got upset at times, and that was always his quick things like, well, we'll just dissolve, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I to the point, and I'm not, but it's like, okay, if that's your position, then okay, you know, it's,
So we want.
but I don't think it's what anybody
And
wants,
I
you
think
know?
there is a compromise, there's a compromising position we can make here.
Yes.
And on page, what was it, page 2, we've got 4 items there listed. One of those might be the item that we can agree on, or maybe a combination of several of them. You know, rather than take away from the members, maybe we can somehow tweak things a little bit so we can add some residents into the mix on a regular basis and encourage them to come and expand, you know, it's.
So it's not, so just getting back to Jim real quick, and I'll get you, Gina, is there'd be nothing to run. If we cut back from 6 to 4 courts, there still is something to run. You know, there's still something to run there. It's just limited courts. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying, let's, instead of just being, well, there's nothing to run and we're gonna blow it up, let's, you know, we'll try to work.
Down in Lakeville, they did that. Down in Lakeville, they did that. We had to leave a court open for people that wanted to play tennis.
Yeah.
We played down there 3/4 of the summer and no one showed up. And there was 2 pickleball courts we couldn't use because people were playing. Finally, everyone just left.
What if you, I
You
mean,
only have 16 people, there's 40 people there, like he says. You play for 15 minutes, you sit for 30. I'm not saying you do anything wrong if that's what you wanna do. I'm just saying it's not.
Jim, if I played for 15 minutes, I'd have to sit for 30 and I'm only 50.
You need to defibrillate.
So have you ever thought about, I'm a member, so I know you, I'm with you. I'm with you in the sense, but you ever thought of just making it all Bridgewater? There's 135 people who don't live in
Well,
Bridgewater.
that's,
Bridgewater residents own that court,
Right.
right? So, and again, I'm a member of I'm a member of this board that I represent the town. I'm a member here is a pickleball group, and I'm just trying to think fairly among, what my position is.
Right.
And there's gotta be a thing here that is, I think, Mark was saying, a good, there's gotta be a compromise that we have here for this.
What about building 2 more courts and have
No,
those
I
two?
love the, I love the building.
I've already done that.
We'd like to have 10 courts.
I've drawn up this year, I've drawn up and submitted 2 plans to add 3 courts and 4 courts. Does moving a few things like the gazebo would have to move a little bit.
I mean, years ago when we
We
had,
can get 4
we had
courts.
Charlie,
Yeah.
he'd get an idea and it would be done with volunteers.
But if you're trying to promote this, I brought this up at a meeting a while back and it kind of fell on deaf ears, I think, but I see a lot of like down in Falmouth when I'm down in the summer, they use tennis courts and they paint them, I'm just a temporary situation before you put new courts in because it's gonna cost money. 4 tennis courts at the old high school, the middle school.
Yeah.
It's town land, that's a Bridgewater building now.
They're going,
Huh?
no,
the
they're not.
Falmouth courts are going.
Oh, the fountain.
No, well,
What
the
he's-
one in Megansett isn't because I was there Sunday watching people play. There's one court down by the elementary school down in the town that gone because of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I'm talking about,
the high school.
no,
The old
up in North Falmouth, 151, up by the softball field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
I know where
have,
that is.
they
I
have-
played there.
they have 3 tennis courts, a basketball court, they even put 1 pickleball court in. I went there one day out for a walk and I stopped and they invited me to play, I played for a little bit. Oh, someone's right, but what I'm saying is the 4 courts that we still have at the old I call it the old high school, the middle school. That's an option, is why, so let's say I bring my family up at 8 o'clock on a Friday morning. Hey, it's open over there, I mean, during school hours, that might be a different issue, right? But,
Yeah, and the other thing is,
but I'm just saying, there's another place,
Are those courts ever used for tennis?
hardly ever, because they put new tennis courts in at the high school.
They've got new tennis courts at the high school. There's a plan to do some work out back there to the fields, out back of the middle school, leveling them. We're working with CPC, as Gina,
CPC,
I love them,
Community
CPC.
preservation.
With them, and part of that is resurfacing and bringing those those courts back. But this just popped into my head, and we'll discuss this after the fact with what we do, but, 2 things that one just popped into my head is, if those courts were able to have pickleball played on them, a quick solution is pickleball association, buy some nets, donate them to have them there, people come down during your hours, be like, all right, let's say you wanna come on, or somebody keeps coming, Dan keeps coming 3 or 4 times, Dan doesn't wanna pay you the money, all right, Dan, well, guess what? You can go to the middle school, and we get
Advertise
pickleball
it.
nets up
And
there.
there's 4 tennis courts there, they're gonna resurface them, right? I mean, I've been a former tennis coach for a while, there's hardly any tennis courts in town anymore, right? So, but even if you just took 2 of the tennis courts and put 2 on each side, that's 4 pickleball courts.
Well, that's what
So if I'm
campgrounds and
playing
stuff do all over the
pickleball
place.
and they
there's
come
no
down and
nets
wanna
up
play
on the
tennis, there's two designated tennis courts.
And plus that one's over the high school too.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna let you on those, I think. I
But
don't
I mean,
know,
just-
that's
it's
what I'm
just-
told, they're not letting the public on those.
good idea.
Okay, Gina, you wanna chime in with something?
Yep, a couple questions.
I said that one time, but it,
I mean, I play in New Hampshire on tennis
Right.
courts because no one's playing tennis
right,
and the nets are still there for tennis
right.
group did show up.
Right, so it's multi-purpose, you know, but it's all.
Perpendicular.
But what I'm saying to start, if we just, there's 4 courts in that, whether they get resurfaced or not, it's still not bad. If you put 4 pickleball courts on 2 tennis courts and left 2 designated tennis.
Yeah.
So,
Are there any close residents, any houses close to the courts?
In Bridgewater.
on Main Street.
If you put them too close for residents.
Well, right now,
Yeah.
I would say, I'm not up there
There's
anymore, but,
one house across.
well, there's one on the corner, that the lady right on the corner of Crane and South, and across the street on Crane.
Across the street.
But if you're looking at the courts from the building, from the parking lot, put the pickleball in the 2 and leave tennis down towards the houses. I mean, they're still gonna hear it. I mean,
It's still, I understand it's a different noise, but those fields, you live around those fields, lacrosse uses those fields,
Yeah.
football uses those
Oh,
fields, tennis uses those fields, you know what you're in for, you're not in a quiet community, you're in an active school, young athlete area, so it is, you know, that is what it is. Gina, you wanted to chime in with one thing?
Couple questions, right, you mentioned lessons and clinics, are they just for club members? Or,
No, I've been doing them for,
I was gonna say I
Anybody.
wanna go down
and I do
and
not
learn again.
charge. I do,
how does the public know this though? Is it on
Right,
just your
It's
website?
just
Can we put it on
publicized.
our website? I'm just
No.
asking.
Word of mouth.
We have our own.
we have our own app.
But what about Joe Public, that wants to learn, again, they know the pickleball club has it 7 to 11, so they're just not gonna go down.
Well, we,
But if they know it's a clinic or something, a certain time, I know you've told me the times and I can't remember what they are. But if somebody knows there's a clinic in the
Yes.
pocket, it's publicized, it's on our website, it's.
Well, just with your app and your thing, we have a link, Jim?
I think our website is a link to their website.
Alright, so we get a link to your website, on your website, you know, all are welcome to play.
join the app.
And then they, then they can, yes, you're all welcome to play. This is how we structure things during our hours. You know.
But Joe, I would also say if that plan ever came to fruition, maybe you don't start at 7 AM with the houses, you
Oh,
have
yeah,
to
you
start at 8 or
definitely
9,
do that.
you know what I mean?
I mean, that,
But it's an option for
the
people to
Falmouth
show up.
residents got a court injunction and had
Yeah,
to stop.
that was the one downtown.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was in the elementary school.
Yeah,
Our residents don't have that kind of money, Joe, so we don't have.
A lot of them have hearing aids.
But Falmouth is building new courts up by the park, way up on the other side of
Yeah.
town, close.
Another idea I had that, we'll take it in discussion, but just for you guys to, because that's an idea, yeah, I may have thrown out last time too, is, if we did something where you guys have your hours 5 days a week, if we cut those back to 4 days a week versus losing 2 courts, like Wednesday is a wide open day, it's just stuff just trying to remedy a situation, just not lock solid, like I said, we'll discuss it, but just something you guys, if we came back with that, something for you guys to toss
but
around.
if we did that, it's gonna be a trial basis, because if nobody's using it, if we take a day away and there's nobody using
And it
it,
has to get
we won't
publicized.
still
we don't ever go back.
If we take a court away, but no one's there, they can still use it.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, if there's nobody there,
But if somebody comes in and they say, okay, you can use that court because you're non-resident, you're not.
But we're not gonna allow somebody to come in with coolers and chairs and move them up.
No, of course.
if people are coming in and they're drinking, and you just ask them politely or things like that, you guys should just be calling the police. That's something you guys shouldn't have to deal with. Because at Little League, if I'm at the Little League field, the football field, lacrosse field, yeah, I mean, it's great. You can yell and scream at somebody all day long. You ask them nice, if they don't do it, you call the police, have them do it.
I've done that at least 3 times to groups that came in and they took over the courts and they had everything out there and they're drinking and everything. Told them the rules, to move them off the courts. That's what the gazebo's for. Put your chairs out there. Stand outside the courts.
And
They complied, they moved, and most of them joined the club.
Absolutely, and that's fine, and just, and that's, it's great. I just think,
Sugar.
We're kind of lucky that we have you guys to supervise it.
yeah, but that was the whole purpose of getting somebody down there in place, was having a group in place. So I mean,
So, right, let me that work.
I've seen similar.
I think that's the easiest solution. Well, if let's say you guys are playing down there, 8 o'clock, you're playing like you usually do, you're using 6 courts. I show up with let's say five friends, there's six of us, and we're not really interested in using, we didn't know if there's any open courts. Yeah, actually, we'll bump off this court, these two courts, you guys play for an hour, or whatever, you guys reduce it based on need, so we're reducing to 4 courts based on need, and it's not going to be,
You won't get it.
I'm not down there
I've
seven in
never
the morning,
seen
but
anyone-
I don't see you guys.
That's what I asked.
Influx of constant
But I'll
people.
just tell you, there's a lot of little things we haven't talked about, and now's probably not the time. If you were to separate 2 courts, I mean, pickleball, anywhere you play, you never show up and get to stay on the court game after game after
What, it
game.
rotates.
Yeah.
Right, so who's managing that? I mean, so a member, if someone's playing on a town court and a member is waiting in line, they can jump on that town court next, because they're, right?
Well,
There's some management stuff that gets really granular and detailed and can get messy. And what this place pickleball offers is the people that somewhat maybe more timid and not that social, having a membership really creates an atmosphere that they're welcome, they can play. You let more and more people down there that without structure, those people are
But
saying to
it's-
get away, back
It's,
off.
it's understandable to a point, but, I like Tom's idea too. It's based on need. I think you'll see more of a need in the afternoon versus the morning.
Correct.
And that seems to be where a lot of the trouble spots are, is in the afternoon.
People come home from work.
Yeah, they, wanna go down and play, and they do have a right to play, and I don't blame them, and to wait till after 7 o'clock, can be a problem, I mean, maybe the night shift there, we cut it back to 4 courts and you leave 2 courts. The one thing I had a concern with when this whole thing started, and I aired it just as a concern, was sometimes, when people get involved, they have an organization, they've got, I don't want to have a little power or anything like that, but they just kind of encompass all of it, and it's not, these are still town courts, and we have to respect that, and whether or not you have the organization there or not, you have to respect that these are town courts, and people that may not have an interest in playing all that, but just want to be able to give them the availability. And yes, you guys do have the Monday through Friday, the key pickleball times, in the morning and in the evening, so it's tough. Like if I had a chance to play and I was coming down with my kids or whatever else, it's going to be between 4 and 7. It's not going to be at 7 o'clock on. So I'm just saying that we just can't have any organization, because even Little League, we do a ton. I sit on the Little League board and we do a ton of work down at Legion. But it's in conjunction with gym, and there's, if there's other things going on, usually baseball season, it's just baseball. But, if somebody came in and they worked on a deal with, Park and Rec to use a field and rent a field, we have to respect that. They're still not our fields. As much as money we put into them, time we put in, they're not our fields. So that's just, you guys are doing a great job down there, but they're not your courts. They're everybody's. And
I'll say this again, the Bridgewater Pickleball Association is great.
Yeah.
They run it, camaraderie, organized, everything goes well. Again, sitting on this board, I say, okay, it's great. I think we can come to a solution. I think Jimmy Small's got a couple of
Got
things.
something, Jim, to add?
Yeah, I got just, maybe I missed this part. Where originally Jim or Gino, you guys probably know, where did the funds to fund the construction come from? Where the
Community preservation.
CPC, okay. That's all I didn't know.
How much did it cost?
110.
I think it's about, we got 140 and I think we used 110 of it.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I know, I did some volunteer work down
We
there.
could have done two.
It's cheap. It was cheap.
Yeah,
I think it's
All right, back to Jim. Jim,
All
you
right,
got
so,
one?
typical.
maybe I missed this. How often do non-members show up to play, during the BPA hours? How often would you say?
Oh,
Non-members, like say in the morning and the afternoon?
I'd say every day there's probably 4 or 5 of them that show up in the morning to play. Never turn them away.
Jimmy,
Yeah, so
I don't think I've ever seen him.
most of the time,
And we haven't even been collecting the
you
$5.
incorporate them into that day, and like if I showed up,
Yeah.
Let's just try to keep, let's keep
Okay, well, I'm
going.
not-
Trying to gather, this
The
is pretty
follow-up
much
to
the
the
same
question.
stuff I got from Jeff, but he was excited when I talked to him, so.
A little.
I don't know if you, I didn't know if he missed anything, maybe, or I missed something.
Yeah, he gets way fired up.
So he said, you guys allow people to come in, maybe you guys just said this too. If somebody shows up, you allow them to come in and play anyways.
Without charging them, right?
Okay. So when I talked to him, he said that everything we were asking to do, he pretty much already does. Would you agree with that? Like he said, if someone shows up, we allow them to come in and play.
Right, yeah. I mean,
It's the
if they
hours
show,
of thing.
there is a sign,
Hold
there's a
on.
sign with a QR code on the side of the shed that says, it says drop-in fee. And if, you know, somebody asks about it, we'll say, yeah, if you want to contribute $5, you can. If not, we don't make a big deal about it. We're accommodating to everybody that comes
And
here.
on that drop-in fee, are there hours, or if somebody goes at noontime and they see that, do they feel they have to do a
No,
drop-in fee?
No,
So there's no
after 11,
hours,
they don't have to.
it doesn't specify.
No, it doesn't.
If you think about it, what you're asking us to do, we just did Saturday and Sunday. We do it every Saturday and Sunday. Because the club goes down there to play anyway.
So,
People go down and they don't even ask anybody. And what it actually helps the people that are new. Because you say to them, put your name up here. So 2 people put their name.
right,
on the
shows
block.
them instruction. I'm just
Yeah, I'm
wondering,
saying, it rolls right along and they like it, they join. If they don't like it, they
and
don't.
that's great. It's great that nobody's getting turned away, people can play.
Right.
Here's my question. On Tuesday, Mike and I come down. We're not members.
Mhm.
We just want to play each other. Mike and I want to play each other. We're going to spend an hour playing each
And
other.
you want to take a court?
We want to take a court and play each other. You guys have a great thing here, but we like to play each other.
So you're gonna have 2 people playing on a court and you got 30 people waiting to play.
Like they can play one game, then come off.
Yeah,
That's how it
that's
goes.
it.
You gotta put your name on
It
the
isn't
board
like
though.
tennis, it
Okay.
isn't like showing up at a tennis
Yep.
court, it isn't anywhere like.
Right, so we would have the opportunity to play each other,
Most-
and then,
most everyone plays
The only thing
Play doubles, you play with
okay,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah, just, my point being, you came in with a couple people.
Yeah.
You wanna get okay, we'll get you on, but this is how it works, you're on for a game, and then you go, then you rotate, but you're more than welcome to get on.
Yes, but
Perhaps
the only thing we would encourage you to do, if there's a bunch of people waiting ahead of you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't jump ahead of them.
Well, that's,
We would say to you, you can certainly take that court, but these people need to go before you because they've been waiting.
And that's how the board.
There's this etiquette.
okay, all right, I like this. So, so you get it, so we put our name on the board,
Yes,
and then, but we're able to play each other, but
Yes.
we can't just come and demand the court.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
but it's always double.
And everybody's
Right,
on
okay,
that
yeah, I
board,
just
right?
said,
yeah.
Everybody's following that same process,
Right.
remember or not, if you're eight blocks down, you're waiting for 8 games to get over before you
Right,
get over.
and that board isn't out all the time.
Correct.
The
Well,
social
it's
part
out-
of it good
it's
is
out
if
during
you
winter
have
hours.
sign up on the block.
Right.
Yeah.
And no one signs up
I
with you,
think Jimmy has.
and the
one.
4 of us sign up after you, none of us can go out till someone's played with you.
plays, right.
Everyone waits till you get your 4 and you're next, no matter what. So
Yeah.
it works out
Yep.
for
Jim?
everybody.
So, just the last thing, I don't know if Jeff told you guys, but when I talked to him that day, I told him, if there's no one, what?
He's gonna hit you or something.
We're on the phone, it was on speakerphone, I thought it was coming, to come through. So I told him, if there's no one on 1 and 2, you don't just sit there with the 2 empty courts all, for the 5 hours in the morning, whatever, 5 hours in the afternoon. You use them. So I just don't understand the whole dissolve everything when you're already doing what we're asking you to do. You can use those things.
Yeah.
Everyone I talked to said, well, when I told them what we wanted to do, they said, well, we already do that. And I'm like, well, why are you dissolving, what's the big
Did
deal?
you think Tom would pay if he could play on those 2 courts for free?
I already did.
That's,
Gina, Gina.
I was trying to.
Everyone would sign up, they play those 2 courts.
I think,
Just wait 1 second,
Yep.
Gina.
I was talking with 2 of your members. I think they're both on your board. They brought up a point, like Jimmy just said, you have the 2 empty courts. Why should a member pay to play while other people aren't? I can kind of see that again, and it's like I've told you guys many, many times, I'm not against pickleball. I'm not against the pickleball club. I just want it, as Mark said, make it work for everybody. So
Okay,
It seems you're already doing that, though.
Molly's got.
When non-members come down, they put their name on the list, they wait their turn, and they get to play.
they're included, absolutely.
And if they do it every week,
No,
you say,
I'm-
let's
I'm
join.
good. So the only,
Because
so
people will get hooked
Jim.
on it and keep coming.
He's like the boss.
So just, the last thing I have is you said there's 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5 people in that morning. So that's what, $25. you may, we're talking about 20,
But we
25
don't-
bucks, may or may,
normally
you
we
may,
don't
One
collect
year
it.
of that.
We don't collect it.
and you don't collect it anyways, so. I
And they're
don't know.
playing,
I
and
think
they're getting
we're- I don't
to
know.
So if everybody's playing, I mean,
I don't see much difference between what we're asking you to do and what you're gonna be doing, going ahead.
Because,
What if we just
Here's an
maintain
analogy.
status quo, since we're letting people play anyways?
Right.
Well, that's what you'd be doing, because if no one's there from a non-BSA, member, it's, you use 1 and 2, you just keep playing, and then if someone shows up, you say,
Yeah, but
"All right,
they,
you wanna come in, come on
those
in."
non-members have to come off after they play a game.
Yeah, I think they'd have to
Same
do
rules
that,
as anyone else.
they'd have to do that if you were walking in anyways.
I think the concern, Jim, was, at least the way we were interpreting what was told to us, was you were taking 2 courts away from the membership, so.
No,
That's,
So-
but that's not what I
So
told
members
Jeff.
could not
it
play
was-
on those courts, those are reserved
No,
for
I
non-members,
said-
so that was.
I just said, you can't, if someone shows,
I
these are
thought when we
courts.
decided this, we
These
would
things
go
are
for a year, come back, reevaluate, and it seems to
That
me
way-
like what I'm hearing so far is, if I show up as a non-member, I'm welcomed and showed how to play, and
Yes.
you're promoting it, it's not like,
And the big thing for me, for the optics would be that if someone did wanna file a complaint with whoever they file it with, at least you could say, hey, we only have 4 out of the 6 courts, there's 2 we keep open for residents or non-members or whatever we're classifying it
well,
as.
the other analogy,
Yeah,
the other
Yeah,
analogy
but
I'm
the
gonna
problem
give
with
you.
residents is
Hold up,
they-
no, he's right.
If we're
police
talking
it,
about,
so.
if we're talking about setting two courts aside for the citizens of Bridgewater, this is going back years ago, then as a member of this board, for however long I'm gonna be, the 2 basketball courts, I can guarantee you every night when I walk by there, there aren't a lot of citizens of Bridgewater playing, but if I wanna go down and shoot hoops and they got, both courts
Exactly.
they're playing games at 20, I can't say, hey, I'm a citizen, I want this hoop to,
Yeah,
to play out with my
No,
son.
I- you know,
So what we
understand.
need to do is, if we're gonna do this, then we should block off a basketball court every night for the citizens. And the other-
we've had those courts, what, for 20 years, 25
I'm
years?
just saying, I mean, but,
Snowball
that's-
tournaments.
but I'm just saying,
No, we built those courts.
Can I ask a question, because I've been here a number of times, how many people have actually sent a formal complaint? Because it seems like no one tells us what the actual complaint is. Yeah, are we catering to 1 or 2 complaints that could affect this awesome community that's been built over 5 years?
yes.
You know what I mean?
We made one mistake, one big mistake. Not notifying the rec or asking the rec for permission to run a tournament on a weekend.
And your last tournament.
That's the one person that was turned, well, I don't know, maybe it was more, but I've never seen anyone turned away. But when you're running a tournament, someone can't go out in the court and play,
Right.
so that made a mistake of turning a person away. Maybe a couple people, you know,
But-
and I get it, you know, and that was a mistake on our part.
But
It should be on rec saying that it's gonna be used for a tournament that day.
I think too that, I don't know, this is the second year, third year, second year for you guys. That word gets out, as I said, pickleball club has it 7 to 11, 4 to 7. So why should my neighbor go to play at 8:30, knowing that, because word gets out, like you said,
the
word.
word has to get out,
Yeah.
that they're welcome to
You're
come.
welcome.
Yeah,
If
you're
they
right.
But the
wanna
word, right,
try playing anytime, if they're beginners, we'll help them along.
So you can,
If they're Bridgewater residents.
right, but the word,
yeah, Bridgewater resident, you can get in, you can jump into the rotation.
I know West Bridgewater,
You have-
Rainham, Middleborough,
Mhm.
Bridgewater.
but the word is.
You can
Maybe
jump
there's-
into the
maybe there's-
rotation.
Yeah.
Can you
You
put
really
that on
don't wanna
sign?
join.
Yeah, Bridgewater
You
residents.
got
Maybe
12
there's a way we
courts,
can word this-
Jumping into the rotation, and
That-
obviously, if 20 people. a day are
Pickleball
showing
courts
up,
open to
it's not
Bridgewater
hard.
residents
Couple,
all the
If
time,
they wanna jump
but
in.
there was
it
the
is what it is.
Bridgewater
You guys just
Pickleball Club that has these set hours, and they would encourage new members to come down and learn the game.
Right, because word just gets out that. That,
It's gonna be crazy. The Lakeville
Right.
Pickleball Club.
Right.
They have over 1,500 members.
They're not all from, they're not all from.
They're not all coming.
No.
They're on there to keep an eye on the activities, the tournaments, the round robins.
Mhm.
And those are extra. They pay extra for round robins.
Yeah, and that's something too with talking about when you guys reserve for tournaments and stuff. That's one of the, one, notify them so we're aware of something's going on, and then, but two, that is subject to an additional fee as well.
Right,
They want a great structure. You have a great structure. It's the, and I use camaraderie, people join those round robin, the tournament. But if I'm a Bridgewater resident, but I'm not a member, I can't participate in that. So those are the quality things that you offer.
Right, that you still get out of having the membership, it is, because that was an issue with, I was going back to Jeff about, was that you still offer something as a membership, even if you were to lose those two courts, you still are offering something, that what you guys are doing. But I think, like Jim said, I mean, we're all right there. I think everybody wants the same thing. It's just a matter of how we word it and clarify. But it sounds like people are more than welcome to come down there and play. They want to play. Dan?
On the agenda, pickleball club, we talked about this. The second item, pickleball court availability, issues received, reported. So Chairman and Director, have you received, has any actual complaints been reported, or is it all hearsay?
Nothing's come from me. It's just,
Okay.
I had someone, the big thing with me that people were talking about was, why do I gotta pay when
it's town
my tax
courts.
money went to fund building these things? So why do I have to pay? I went down to play and they wanted me to pay.
How many of those?
Nah,
but in Jim's
quite
position,
a few.
10, 20?
Nah, probably like,
I don't want to drill them, but.
Yeah.
But I guess an answer would be, that fee is to maintain them.
Right.
Right, that fee is to
It's actually
maintain
a
them.
bargain. What the club is doing, I think is a great deal for the town.
no, it is. We just gotta keep in mind from Jim's position too, Jim.
Yep.
Can't be, no, it's just the way, he's gotta, all of this that we all talk about, it all falls on him ultimately. So
Now,
he's
if
gotta,
that complaint comes to you now, Jimmy, with the information you have now, you're gonna say to them,
no, you can never, like.
Stop.
You're
down
welcome
and
as a
talk to
non-
somebody.
you're welcome as a non-member to go down there and go on the chart and you can play, but if you're gonna do
Also,
it many
I could
times,
say, hey, there's two courts open for available to you when you go in there at all times. I mean, if you show up, you're gonna have to follow the rules that everybody
Subject
else
to the
follows.
pickleball rules, the
But
way
that-
things,
but
the way
that would
games
at
go
least-
on it.
what about the other two
That's-
courts down the street? What about those? Getting those ready. And if someone
Well, I
comes
mean,
up, someone comes up that's not a non-member, say, hey,
We have
you're
additional
welcome to
courts.
go over there.
Yeah, we don't have it yet.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, it was.
I don't know.
Let's stop for a minute. I mean, let's back up. Because when this all started, we were at the old building and we said and I forget who it was, people came in guns blazing and they were gonna do this and we said, whoa.
Tina Larson.
But I don't wanna mention that. I don't even know. I don't even remember. Then we decided they decided to form a club and we had different designees like these guys. So we said, let's do a trial basis after 1 year. We came back and worked it out and then we came up with this plan. But we're in the middle of a year. We're not gonna change this year right now, right? I mean,
No, I think the biggest issue came from you guys wanting to hang the sign and wanting to be able to put hours on the sign. And that's what
Oh.
reignited this conversation, with previous concerns that previous people had, stuff Jim had heard. So that's what got the conversation going again. It was never believe me, we like what you're doing and we're 100% are working with you guys the best we can. We just have to make sure it optics wise, as Jim uses, and it just,
But if we were to designate court space, this is my own personal opinion. 2 out of 6, that's a third of the courts. And I'm not saying I would even vote for one, but if someone came up and said, let's designate one court, I might talk about that, but
as long as you guys are accommodating,
These
like
guys are
we say, I don't
accommodating.
think there being any issue.
anybody away.
Right.
So,
Hopefully we turn them into members, because it's the whole aspect, it's such a social thing.
Right.
People help people learn the game. You show up, you don't know how to play, everybody down there is willing to say, come on the court, we're gonna show you how to
You
play.
guys don't age discriminate, do you? Against young people? No, I say this as
Against young
I say this as somebody that's AARP eligible now, so.
I don't like to play with old people. No.
So if,
Joe, you don't like to play with old people?
No.
okay, I leave the senior center sometimes for an exercise class here. 10 o'clock, sometimes there's still people on the pickleball courts, sometimes it's not. So if somebody want to play at 10 o'clock, 10:30, if there's open courts.
Usually it's slowing down at 10:30 in the
and
morning.
it's because of the heat.
It's slowing
Right,
down
so
right
that's
now.
when, and that's what we said to Jeff the other time, a couple months ago, when he said something about, these weren't his exact words, but we don't want to play when it's the hottest part of the day.
No, I get it, but I
But yet
think,
you want the general public to play it.
I mean, we can, you know, I think this is, I view this as good, you know, getting ideas and things out there. I think, obviously, we could spend 4 more hours doing this. I can't, I got things I can do, you guys have things you gotta do.
So
But I think we can cut it off there, you know, the discussion, we'll keep things,
Okay.
I don't see us not coming to some kind of.
Right.
Because if you disbanded,
We'll
if you guys
continue.
disbanded, what would you guys do? Would you still show up there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I-
at least we didn't have
I'll just
plans
put
for
on
it,
your
you know,
plate,
just, yeah.
But
You
you
will
will
get
get structure on it.
Making without structure.
We've got a sign at the pickleball court that
No.
Charlie had made for me.
You guys are providing a structure that we don't have to.
It's your
provide.
sign, it's Parks and Rec sign.
Yep.
Go around and
It's
cut
Bridgewater
grass around the
pickleball
outside
park.
Sometime, put
It's
up.
not the
an-
We missed a couple spots last
I
week.
know.
And the rules are there for a reason. That's to keep play flow, allowing everybody to get in there and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
are you saying then for the rest of this year, we pretty much stay status quo?
I think if you guys are doing everything you say you're doing and people are more than welcome to play, I think, we, you know, we promote it a little more on the
Who's
website.
the
but-
guy who makes the
What do you think, Jim?
Jim,
Well, I'd like to, I don't know, the issue number one issue I have is you're charging, I did ask the new town manager, but I'd like to sit down with him again and ask him, about you guys taking money or taking in money while you're there.
May not fly.
Yeah, that part,
You're not taking cash, it's
We
a
don't
QR
take
code.
cash. Then, no.
Yeah,
No, but the,
I know,
I think the-
but this,
Is there a town policy against doing that?
Like the transfer station, they
No.
can't take cash.
I don't know,
And
I don't know, I have no
Checks,
idea.
They take checks.
Yeah, but
Right,
yeah, we just
we're
gotta,
letting Bridgewater people, hang on.
But it sounds like
We're letting
you weren't,
Bridgewater
you're not
people
charging them, Joe says you don't charge, or you guys just told me you don't charge anyways.
Right.
So,
So then
again, I think we're kind of just, like, this is the way I felt. I felt that, I talked to Jeff, I told him I wanted to change a few things, and as soon as I said that, he got real defensive and went crazy. And then when I started talking to other people, they're like, well, we already do that. Well, we don't really charge them anyways, and we let them come in anyways, and they can play. We don't turn anyone away, and I'm like, well, what are we talking about then?
and that's changed since the last meeting that we had, that some of you guys were at. That we were told, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that if somebody goes to play, what's $5 and have them pay that day. Now you're saying that you let them play.
if it's their first time, I usually say, forget it, you just come and play.
I think they said if I keep showing up, if I show up 5
Yeah,
days in a
yeah,
row,
yeah.
you're gonna say, hey, Dan, you either join or.
Yeah.
join is pay the fee.
Us not paying it.
But you're only charging non-residents, right? Or no,
Let's just move on.
So,
yeah, no, it's just, we'll wrap this up, we can touch upon this after,
Mark, can I just ask one last question?
30 seconds.
Yeah, time.
Talk about old people. Okay, it'll come at some point.
Jimmy's the guy who has.
No, yeah,
Keep saying
Oh,
that.
yep.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, 20
Um,
seconds.
Who was monitoring? I know a lot of you guys are there in the morning, but who's there in the afternoon? Are there people from?
Jeff told me he was there both morning and night. He said he's there
Okay.
all
I
morning, seven, all
did
night.
stop, I had heard that from members of your group, that there are people there at night, like
There's a
you
lot
said.
of members that show up.
So a couple nights I went, there were groups on there. One time the guys were a lot bigger than me, and I got up there, the guts to say, are you Bridgewater people, are you this? All times I asked, they were club members, and it was like 8:30 at night.
So it sort of self-manages at night. And if there are issues, the members report those to the board and the board will, you know, talk about it or whatever. But
But they have to understand that they come. It's not a group. A group of people come in, 8 people, and they wanna stay together. They gotta put the names on the board.
Is that just, that's just pickleball etiquette?
That's
Yeah,
pickleball etiquette.
That's pickleball etiquette,
They
okay.
can't-
Found it last week when I was watching it, and like,
They'll do that with the wine does it.
the husband and wife all of a sudden split up. And a lot of people,
All right, guys, I don't want to cut anybody off, but I gotta move this along. But thank you guys, thank you guys very much for coming
Thanks for your
in.
time.
No, we appreciate it. No, definitely.
See you again, Tom.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jimmy, stay on gold times.
I'm afraid.
What are you doing? Are you running or something?
He's back.
Watch, I was telling him to take his seat.
Oh, seriously, really? Take care.
Call this the order.
Jesus.
Hey, I got a doctor's appointment early in the morning.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe in the afternoon.
Okay. Give me a call when you get up.
Okay. Leave you behind.
You're the one that brought me in. You're the one.
Another one was really shouldering all the problems, huh? No, but, yeah, well, you think you're gonna tell them now that you're gonna get out and play?
Be nice.
I gotta make sure this thing's still recording, because I think it shut off.
We
right
were-
now.
We weren't
He
really,
needs to let us know that this is going on.
It's on this meeting.
right? Yeah,
No, it's still here.
cause you have to interface with them. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like anyone's playing. Put it this way. Well, let me say that first. I what I wanted to do before was not, having to do two courts. I thought two courts would be the easiest way. But when I added up, there's 65 hours of daylight. And these guys are using the courts 35 hours of that time. So they're basically using it per week. More than 50%.
Yeah.
And they're made up of
45.
45% of their association is out of town. So when we originally said we're gonna do it, we're like, well, this is gonna help us keep the non-residents out.
Right, because that was one of the.
They only have they're only keeping out, I don't know,
135.
5% of them.
135 of those 300 are non-residents.
And that's why it's difficult for, I know Jeff, and these guys are much more manageable than Jeff, because Jeff gets so hard-headed with stuff sometimes, but still a good, nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he just, it is the one way all or
Well,
nothing thing.
But you can flip it, there's 165 residents there those hours, and you're not gonna see 165 other residents waiting to get in.
I think they'll be there anyway, is what they're trying to tell me.
Oh, say
So
people.
if they're coming, they're gonna
From
get
the
in the
beginning,
rotation,
I
as long as
said,
they're allowed to jump in the
what's the
rotation, they can play
difference?
for free.
So we're gonna charge money, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Okay,
Don't charge money.
Don't try, I
So-
think they
so
should
they-
not charge the money, I think they just, and then if you have somebody
But
repeatedly
then-
showing up, have a
this is
different
another part
conversation
that
with
was a
them,
big
then
deal.
come to us with
we
a
sent them an
complaint,
email.
and if we get
after the
enough of
last
those
meeting.
complaints, we can do something else,
Yeah.
but just don't charge them.
After we had our last meeting, it was
Yep.
you, and us two, and
Yep.
with the town
Yep.
manager and whatever that guy is, Rob Ruble.
Ruling.
So anyways, I sent him an email and said, with your sign, don't put up the sign yet. And I said, if you could just, I think I said, if you're gonna put up a sign, say that, your association is courts 4 through 6, and you're gonna keep, 1 and 2 open. So he sent me back an email that basically said, I don't really agree with what you say. I'm gonna go to the town manager, and we're not gonna abide by what you just told me. I'm like, this guy's killing me. So then that's when I called him. I'm like, hey, this is all I want you to do. I said, you can still use those courts, but if someone shows up, maybe you can just let them in. And I did tell him about I'm like, charging them. I didn't like that charging
Yep.
from the beginning. And the big thing was because, basically the people in the town hall were like, I don't even think that's legal. And I'm like,
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a legality issue on that,
I think we should,
so it was a little easier to work with, it would be nice, but
These guys were much easier.
no, it's,
Yeah,
yeah, because Jeff, I had the conversation, I was the one that told Jeff
But again,
initially.
the whole
what we were
time
doing,
at Chicago,
and
it was
he
just like,
well,
we
ours is
already did
solved,
that,
and
we
then I
already
was
did
like,
this, we
okay,
already
Jeff.
let them in, we already.
I
That's
I
all.
The
think,
only other thing you do is just put a lock on it. and open
Well, that's-
it for the-
Well, that's what I went back to,
Now,
what I
have
said, I was
somebody
like, okay, then,
I wanted to
it's
stay
up
away
to you
from
can dissolve,
having,
he's like, you
trying
really
to,
want that, I
having
was
to
like, yeah,
hire
that's what it
someone
is.
to go up there
I'm
and
like,
be like,
at the end of the
can I
day,
see your
it is what it
license?
is, you know?
Okay,
Right.
and I'm like,
I don't,
I would still like to see,
That's exactly what
and these guys do a good job of keeping it clean. so
Right,
I don't want to
I-
disturb
I'm still gonna play.
I would
I have a
still
million other
like,
problems that are mounted at that,
All right, let's, what do
Leslie,
okay.
I would still like to see 1 or 2 courts kept.
I don't think, I think it's foolish to keep 2 designated courts open. I
Especially
think
when they
it's
only have 4
foolish.
or 5 people showing
Yeah,
up that are.
Yeah, I think they get incorporated
From the
in,
outside.
don't charge them, incorporate them in, then people are welcome to play. You
If the
have,
guy comes 10 days in a row, he's gotta join.
Yeah, you gotta.
wait, and then if he won't, they can complain back to us, and then we've got something to build off from there.
We have,
I still think,
has to be a Bridgewater resident.
right,
I would-
Can't say it enough.
I still think
It
we
would have been
should,
nice if they had that association, just Bridgewater residents, but,
right,
because we're talking about the Little League fields, they're, you know,
Those are
those
all
things.
Bridgewater.
When you have somebody that's that's a totally different
That's-
ballgame, and then we start, they really start paying, you really limit their avail,
That's
like,
what they, maybe.
Little League, Bridgewater Town Little League has first rights over pretty much all the fields, pretty much all the time. The only problems we're having now is rainouts where, you know, like Tufsy's old in the corner.
Yeah.
They might call up and say, hey, we want to use the senior field, is it open? And she'll say, yeah, it's open. And then we had a situation where
Yeah, we
Patrick scheduled,
were
we
double- yeah,
scheduled somebody there.
And we worked through those
And
bonds.
she's like, I know you have first right, you know, to have the fields, but you didn't tell me, so I didn't know you were, she's telling Pat, you just contact me and tell me, that's no problem, but if I don't know, and this is basically just after the season ends, because the season, everything's scheduled, the whole
Yeah.
season, everything's scheduled.
Right.
But that's, to me, with these guys being non-residents, and then, I know, like, I know the fields are, Little League uses those fields, they start at like 3 in the, in.
Yeah, those fields are open all day. You wanna use them in the morning, use them in the
I
morning.
mean,
So
there's no, and when we first sat down with these guys, I really wanted to do either morning, I just wanted to do morning, because I figured it was cooler, and there's retired, and then
Right.
people who are working could come in the afternoon. But Jeff was like, we can't do that, we have a group that's gonna come, needs to come in at night, if we
I didn't
if
think
we
we gave
can do that, we're not
I
doing it.
thought Originally, it was just, I agree with you, I thought originally it was just the
It
morning.
was
Was,
supposed
and
to
then
be,
they
but
came
Jeff
back,
said,
yeah, he was like, well, we have a group, and I understood his position, because it's a different, it's not, if we thought maybe it was the same group, and we're like, well, no, you've got the morning or the night,
know.
but it's an after work, you know, for those of us that work, it's an after work,
but
you
what
know, come in
about
and,
the general public that works? That-
But-
or
Yeah.
like Gina says, if they have the morning and then they have the night, they really just took all the best times of the day, and then they left kind of like the time when.
No one's.
right, well, that's why we
Nobody
limited
wants to
weekends
play
too, so at
anyways.
least, because they wanted the
Well,
7
see,
days a
do
week,
harder
if
work.
somewhere like that.
Yeah, I mean, if that heat, boy, I don't know how these guys play that
Okay,
pickleball
so
now.
why can't we say, like we talked about tonight, hold 2 courts? If nobody shows up, then the club can play.
You know, what happens if someone shows up, uses the courts, and then, or there's no one on the court, and then someone shows up after the other people use it.
Right.
You know, like conflict.
And I was thinking.
And I'm not supporting one way or the other, but this place where I rent, the last couple of years, I purposely, Sunday mornings go for a walk, and I sit there and I watch. And people come up, and I don't know if it's a club, there's all signed, but there's a group. And then other people come up. And they embrace them and bring them in, and then they came over and asked me to play, and I'm like, oh, no, come on in. So that's the way pickleball works,
Yeah.
and there's no court save for them, you know?
Did you play? They asked you to play, did you
He's
play?
played.
I did play. Well, no, I'm saying, I've played with these guys years ago, but down in Falmouth, I did play, and I did a couple of rotations. And
It's fun.
what I noticed too, the one day I was watching, this is about
I
a year
didn't
ago,
play, but I wouldn't
like a
do it.
couple showed up and they played together first, but then, and I don't know how they do it, and all of a sudden they sat out and then she went with another person and he went with, and, you know, they're all intermixed and they were all having a hell of a time.
Aren't there levels?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
You sort of know, you know, like any sport.
Yeah, I just thought for the rest of the
Just
year,
watch
it
somebody
would
play a
be,
little bit.
where everything, what they told me is everything that we were asking to do, they were already doing anyway. I figured maybe at least this way we could get through this year, and then in the off season kind of re-examine everything.
So
and then
keep
say-
things the way it is, but encourage them to not
Yeah,
charge.
just say, at least we could say, at least you can say, hey, that we told them that they're gonna keep 2 courts open. What we mean by open is available if people walk in.
But we're only halfway through the season,
You know, so.
because it's still a good 2.5.
So if we motion to keep things the way they are,
They're all playing.
minus no charging for drop-in players. Does that,
For residents.
for no, for
That was
dropping
the motion I
Bridgewater
was gonna
residents,
make.
no charge for dropping Bridgewater residents dropping in.
Maybe also
Does-
one, you know, keep make 2 courts available for Bridgewater residents in the situation that they do show up and don't want to join. Because it sounds like that,
They do
once
it anyway.
Once they bring them in, they don't charge them and then they join anyways. I didn't ask them that,
But
but
what
that would be
about-
nice to know, how many times have you had someone, I
Yeah.
think they said, didn't they say that once? They had
Yeah.
one guy that didn't want to play, and like Jimmy said, I think a couple of I think he's right, some of the majority of the complaints are probably from people showing up on a Sunday and there was a tournament we didn't know. That we kind of gotta, I did hear about that afterwards, when they said there was a
You
tournament,
can
they
see
didn't.
that, if you
Yeah.
play any Saturday, so you go there, so.
There's a tournament there, but understandable, if they did it the right way, they didn't do that one the right way, so from now on, they have to do it the right way. But, yeah, that's,
Add in the
all right,
motion,
let's-
just,
let's
no
move
more
on.
yelling from Jeff, no more getting excited.
you guys get a new president, and the hours are back on the table.
I'm just, I like to use this all out.
So, we're gonna motion to keep things the way they are with the amendment that courts, a couple of courts are open for Bridgewater residents to use without joining.
But I think we're misconstruing the word joining. Because I can go down one day, I can go down there tomorrow as a resident. And when I wanna play, they're going to embrace me and let me play. And I could walk away and never join it. Are you talking about joining their rotation that day or joining the
Joining the
club?
club.
Yeah, what I'm understanding about pickleball etiquette is you have to join the rotation. You can't,
Yeah.
there's no,
Okay,
you
so-
don't just come in.
So there's
That's the
no,
way it works.
so what I'm saying
If
is,
it's full.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is there's no need to designate two courts because
Yeah, the only reason I said,
Just say one court, so.
I wouldn't say any, how can you say anything?
No, no, no,
If-
Jimmy
if I-
wants to have a defense
or,
that he can
yeah, I see what
say,
you're talking about,
there's
yeah,
always a
at
court
least if he's,
available for it.
or you could
They
at
have
least
to
say,
join the
well,
rotation.
if someone shows up,
But
that's a
what if there
non-resident,
isn't a big,
you gotta let them play, and,
They have to join the rotation.
yeah.
I know,
that's-
but-
so they're allowed to join the rotation, but they can't charge.
Yeah.
Does that cover you on your
Yeah,
end?
that'd be a good one,
in the
right?
morning,
But not reserving a court.
Yeah, and it sounds like they do that anyway, so I
But
don't
they,
think
they
they.
don't hold it.
Okay, let me throw, yep, Dan?
I'll try this motion.
Yep.
And we can,
Yes, option.
well,
No, it's
I
same
don't know if
idea.
a chair can make a motion, can he?
I can't,
Right.
but,
I'd like to make a motion that we keep the current schedule as is for the remainder of the year with a caveat or addendum that if town residents show up, they will not be denied access to the rotation and they will be welcomed without charge.
That's a good.
a second,
How about,
second,
all right, all in favor,
For discussion, how about?
Discussion.
discussion?
how about if they come every day though?
they come in.
And they come every day.
Well,
No, but.
okay,
Other people
but,
pay.
all right, so an addendum is with no charge if they are. So
Intermittently clean.
I think you're saying no charge.
But the club may encourage them to join their club.
That's it, that's it.
All right, we have a second.
If it
Oh, that was discussion. Who seconded Dan's motion initially?
wasn't finished yet.
Okay,
No, it was,
It
because
was.
Tom seconded it.
Tom second.
Yeah,
So
but-
Dan
Well,
seconded the
let's-
motion, Tom
Dan-
seconded, but with, like,
Yeah, that's
it's,
good.
I just added to it.
I think
it's good with that.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think that's
I think
good.
that's
I
good.
think that's
Yeah,
good.
okay.
I mean, there's no sense in a guy, if he's coming every day, he should probably,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have to,
No.
but he ends up going in their rotation.
Right, he has
But
to
it
go
doesn't-
every
It doesn't
day.
sound
Yeah,
like.
you can't supersede
It
them.
doesn't sound like.
You can't- in
they've had
pickleball, you
any
can't do that anyway.
situations like that
Yeah.
anyways.
oh,
Okay.
They've only had one guy, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I was.
Okay, let's get a vote on this. We have a vote in favor of the motion.
Let's, yeah,
I,
all in favor, aye.
Does that
Aye.
work, does that work for you, Jimmy?
Opposed?
No one's
Yeah,
opposed.
No, all right.
Okay, what,
The town manager could do anything they want, right? I mean, they could,
yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
just-
it's.
We're just, we're advisory, so we give it to him and then that,
Can we-
Jim, you and Allison will work that out and that's what we,
He said, give rid of
The
this.
big thing was that they weren't charging.
65 others. And that's-
Off-season.
That was,
Right, and
that
that's
was a
not-
caveat.
and that's
Okay.
not what they told us.
let's move
Oh, I
on.
think-
Jenny Leonard Park update.
Can I, well, it's further down, never mind. I
Okay.
wanted to put it on it for this.
Just to
but-
touch on that, okay, so we didn't have, last scheduled meeting, we didn't have a quorum, but the acting town manager was here with Bob Ruley. And there was a question about, in Oldfield Estates, the town accepting the chunk of land, which we thought was just a parking lot to go in the backside of Jenny Leonard Park. Upon questioning them and asking why, because it seemed like a no-brainer, because I don't know why or how, I was under the impression that that was part of allowing Oldfield Estates to be built,
It was.
well, no, it was not. What it was is
Talk to the planning, but
they were giving us that with the drainage basins as one piece, which leads to headaches for us down the road as the town.
Maintaining the,
again,
So it was their way of getting out of maintaining their
are they
basins.
talking, there's a drainage there and there's one across the street?
It's
When you
both
say they, you
It's
mean
both.
Oldfield
Yeah,
Estate?
they said
Oldfield
both.
Estates, that's why they were donating to
Because
the
the
town.
one across the street, I might be wrong, but I think Wireless Trust has taken that over.
Well, according to Bob Ruley, and he said that's why he wasn't in favor, because I wanted to know, because it seemed like a no-brainer to me. And he's like, it's
So
just
the
their
town
way.
didn't accept it?
No, it's their way of, the developers, their way of dumping a future problem off on us as opposed to the homeowners association. So,
We've been
you know,
told,
it is, I
So
don't
we
think
have
it's.
there's no town access,
No, you can do, you and I go there right now, as far as everybody's concerned,
no, but I'm saying through the back?
through the back and park in that parking lot and go in.
But if the town doesn't accept it, in Oldfield Home
Oldfield
Association,
can
they're
shut
not
it
gonna,
off.
they're not gonna let us on there.
they're not gonna let the public in there, are they?
No,
No, but as of right now, they
They're
don't.
liable for the suit,
I
so
thought,
my concern.
I don't think that's what they said though, did they? Didn't they say that there's spots there that you can park in?
There are. You can park on the street there and walk in,
Yeah,
you know? So it's, until,
Oh, no,
until their
Oldfield
homeowner
Park.
association does something to
And on
stop
the
it.
Cherry Street side, there's no parking, right?
No, it's all overgrown.
no.
Yeah, but even
Well,
if,
what
even
did
if you
he
clean
tell
it
us?
out,
There was
There
something.
it's overgrown a little bit. There is a parking lot there that I never knew was there.
but it's not, I don't think it's a lot.
no, it's just a
It's,
couple.
I think you're right. It's more, it's a spot I didn't even know existed. It's right next to whoever's house was there. You pull in and there's an area in there.
I would like to have that looked into
I
more.
mean, as a kid, it was more a neighborhood
Okay.
thing, so there wasn't kind.
What, the old,
The town accepting.
you can, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that he answered my questions, but I'm not saying you're wrong. If you want to look into it and bring more information back to us, I have no issue with that, but he told us it wasn't part of any agreement to do that development. So whether the planning board had a different thing going on,
It was.
And they said both of those two is what is.
yeah, it is both.
I
It
think,
is
I
both.
thought maybe someone that told
Why don't
you or
we
someone
just
that there was
go-
one that was fine and then there was one that was,
Yeah.
you know.
So I don't, I mean,
If it's owned by the association, they're gonna not want people walking on it. Someone sprains an ankle, they're liable.
And if the town accepted
yeah, I
it,
mean, as at any point, they could, but it's better than the town picking it up and having to deal with the headache down the road
Yeah,
of
the
those
town
drainage
didn't want it
basins.
because they said there was gonna be issues with
but
that.
it's no different than the drainage on your street.
No, it
No,
is
it's a
different,
little bit
because that's on
different.
public streets.
Yeah.
Someone has to
Right,
cut
I mean, the
that,
type of drain.
they have to maintain.
Right, I
it.
get it,
But
right, but it's gonna need maintenance, and if there are issues
Yeah, they
there,
own that, so.
yeah.
But they're not gonna allow us to do any work to improve that parking lot. They're
Well,
not,
we don't need to, because if we get money from CPC to do work there at some point, we
But
can,
CPC,
we can open up the parking lots, the parking out
I mean, out front.
front and then
Right,
that other
but
one
if-
next to that house.
if the town accepts that piece,
Mhm.
it, I wanna say more than doubles the size of Jenny Lynn. It's a huge piece.
but
It's
what,
not
but
just
what they're saying is the maintenance of that big, drainage area is.
maybe something could be worked
And
out
then-
with,
But God forbid the kid, I guess I'm not a lawyer, but if the town takes that over and the kid gets hurt, then the town's liable,
Mhm.
you know.
right,
There's limited liability, but, I don't think they want that burden, I mean,
Considering our infrastructure issues that we have as it is, I mean, as a taxpaying part, I
It's
want
low
nothing.
priority.
Yeah, I don't,
right, I'll look into it.
all
but
right.
you can look at it and bring more information back,
Yeah.
all right. Old mobile station, that is,
Can I ask a question?
yes,
I understand that you guys talked to the town manager and the CED director.
the former acting town
Right.
manager, yes.
What did he show for plans? Because there's two versions out there.
Did I see a picture of
No,
one
there-
plan
They're
downstairs?
downstairs.
There was nothing.
When I walked in,
There's nothing is, there's no general contract. The biggest issue they have is time. They've got to get rolling on this at some point because we get the grant. But there was a lot of concept,
Right,
it's concept designs is what there were.
right.
So
It was,
there's no hard plans for it right now.
it was my understanding from talking to the town manager that acting town manager. That it was part of the grant stipulation. And the only reason I know this is because CPC paid for a good piece of that land. And we still need conservation restrictions and things done on it to satisfy CPA requirements. Part of the grant says, and this is the difference between CPC vice chair and town manager, on what the grant said. I believe the grant said the final plan has to be approved by a majority of the Parks and Rec Department before it can be submitted. That's,
We voted for,
We were in favor of it. We voted in favor. didn't
no,
we?
this is,
No.
this
No,
is, this is, this
you get
is-
more information.
right,
Okay.
right,
that's what we voted on.
right. This is the final plan.
Yeah.
And,
We haven't voted.
We haven't seen a final plan yet. you-
right, but CPC has been told a final plan
I
Yeah.
vote.
that Parks and Rec agreed with it. I'm like, so what plan did you agree to?
Okay, the only-
Because there's
No,
still a
it-
few others.
Here's the thing, because two things. The only thing I ever voted on was you came and brought
You
up,
voted for more info.
That was
but
the old.
it was to go to the CPC to vote money for it. And we said, we voted 4-1 not to support that at this time until we got further information.
Right.
Right,
Exactly.
But this diagram right here is very
Advertised.
this building here is the original gas station building.
Yep.
It's gonna be renovated?
Yep.
You're gonna fit that.
No, it's just concepts. I
I
think,
know,
because we
but
have
I'm
the same
saying-
thing. It's just different
I know, but
ideas.
It's
not,
misleading is what it is.
yeah.
When you
well,
sell this to the
You
town,
said they
oh, that
don't
looks
do it
great.
unless they
You're not
go
gonna,
Bridgewater State, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18
So-
pop-up tents?
So just so
You're
we
on top
know,
of each other.
let me hold this up, just so we know, and we're clear on this, you know, a lot of different concept art. We see the old mobile station here,
Mhm.
right, and we see all this other stuff. There's no money for any of this other stuff. This is all
Yeah,
concept.
they-
This is what they have money for.
Right.
And Bridgewater State's supposed to be kicking some money in and then taking over the maintenance, but
This,
this stuff is not happening at the initial stage.
But what they're showing, that you can't fit in the space that's.
No, absolutely, Tom brought that, no, they can't, it's just, this is, no, it can't, so.
So this is the information we've been waiting to get so we can vote on it?
No, it's not even up for a vote, they just gave us a
No,
concept
because
art.
Or is
There is-
Raleigh doing this all on his own?
We have not been given, he doesn't have a hard plan, they don't have a contractor, a general contractor running the project, there's no point, they're waiting for the new town manager to get put in
See,
place to find out who was going to be the point person on the
Yeah,
project.
but this, she just said that we have to vote a majority.
for the
to
final
approve this,
plan, to
right?
approve the final plan.
Right now, I'll vote, I don't think we should.
We don't have
I
any,
think we should put a for sale sign up and give the money for the, if it sells, give it to the town.
That ship sailed, I think.
Yeah.
I think they bought it with part of your money and part of grant that they got from,
Okay.
Yeah, we're paying money on the CPC for taxes.
I get it, I don't disagree.
But here's the deal, how can we vote on a final plan if we don't have, if there's no final plan? So why
Correct,
did they
that's
act?
that's my point, Danny.
So, right, you say there's no final plan,
So
so
we've been given no
Right,
so
plan.
this
I-
point,
I-
let's,
Yeah,
I've
So-
been told that there
we'll
is,
vote on it when we get
right,
it.
all right,
right. And I-
submission of annual town report by Park and Rec,
Okay,
how's that
I-
coming along?
I've been completely confused.
What?
I know it's hard to believe I've been confused. It's like,
Yeah, what's new?
I know, that's why I said surprise. And it gets down to why Parks and Rec Department and Parks and Rec Commission? Because it seems what we say still has to go through Jim to the town, which isn't what the town code says, so that's
No,
all.
well,
over the
first of all,
head.
it's what we suggest
Right, so that's.
goes
what-
to Jim, and then Jim, we
Right.
talk to the town through Jim's office. through
Right.
Jim in his office, that's what
Right.
that's the town charter.
Right, so just the other day, it's like, it clicked. So what I'm going to do is, we meet short and sweet, we meet monthly. These are our, well, maybe members, you'll get appointed. These are recommendations we've made, we work through the superintendent, and for that. So
Yeah,
I'm
just
hoping
as we
for the
sound, I think
next
that
short
the
and
town
sweet.
clerk's office just, she wants to have they're supposed to have two reports, one from Jim's office, one
Right,
from the
I think
commissioners.
Allison's done the work.
Yeah, so you can work with Allison too, if you know, in notes and this and that, minutes and whatnot, so, all right,
Yeah.
you're on that.
Hey, I gotta go. A couple more minutes.
All right,
Well,
we're rolling.
Stay at least for the Tommy.
Oh, yeah, you have to save one. Let's blow through this up real quick.
Can we move to something, can we jump to reorganization before?
CPC eligibility, Lazaro Building, we've already touched upon that, Jim, that's coming down, there is nothing there.
Yep.
Okay, it's
Application,
definitely.
middle
coming-
school,
The building's coming down.
that building's gonna come down. The building, we can't do anything with it. I worked with Allison to put up, to tell her what she has to put in the final application, so you guys can close it out on your end, but it's nothing that's gonna happen.
But you want,
Do you have another
Sure,
plan
I
for
need to-
a new one?
We potentially using CPC money to put a new building there. CPC basically said you have to kind of renovate the building that's there, but it's gonna,
we just wanted the comparison.
right, the comparison. So it's possibly we get a new building in its place. That building has to come down. Building inspector said it has to come down.
So it's been condemned, basically?
Essentially, yes, yeah.
Okay, can we just jump ahead, a motion to take this out of order? Styles and hot bench donations, because I know Tommy
Yes.
was on that. So I'm motioning to take that out of order,
To take a what?
the Styles and hot bench
Yeah.
donation.
Yeah, but Ron says, but he'll get the.
Just
Go
need a
ahead.
second.
Go ahead.
Second,
Okay,
all in favor?
Aye.
okay. What,
Good.
What-
Is that what we need to do?
That's the cost.
what
Okay.
I found out is it needs to, as I mentioned at the last meeting.
Same as the ones that are there.
It needs to be, because technically it's a gift to the town.
These are the ones that are there. She gave me, did she give you that?
What's that?
Allison, she got this is the bench that's currently there that they use in South America.
So we
Okay.
want.
This is the cost,
But however,
Or is it 400?
okay, back,
647.
Okay.
okay. Just jumping back to the discussion, because it's a gift to the town, Parks and Rec, which is part of the town. It needs to be accepted. So, Jim, I can work with Allison. She just has to request from the town manager's office, you know, you see the
Okay.
town's.
Wait, what do we have? It sounds like those issues go to Jim and the Jim deals with the town manager's office. It doesn't have anything to do with
I
us.
just wanted us to
We
know,
have to just accept it.
Yeah,
the town has to, the council has to accept it.
right, so right, but that goes through Jim to
Right,
there,
but I'm
right.
just-
They haven't
okay.
officially donated it yet, right?
No,
They're looking for information.
Right,
You might not do it, right?
no, he wants to get, he wanted to get it done
2 years
as
Okay.
soon
ago.
as
I
he could
talked
do
to
it.
him.
So are you giving him this, and then if he just goes ahead, he'll let us know,
Yeah.
then.
We've told him this. Yeah, so
Can we do this? Can we accept his donation?
No,
And anticipate, we can accept it, and then the town, just so we can tell the town council that the rec board is already.
We're on board with
agreed to it. Yeah, we're on board, and now it's their final
As
decision.
long as it's the same bench.
Yeah.
No, yes, we can, we can
can make a
vote,
motion.
our suggestion, our
We can buy-
recommendation to Jim is that we accept it. And then we're
we
done with that
can,
part.
we can recommend.
Yeah.
and
That,
then Allison will put something
Right,
together.
we can recommend it as Parks and Rec, but the final approval and acceptance has to be,
Right, but we
Well,
can,
we don't care about that, we just care about our end.
well, we do, so,
we endorse this plan, provided they meet all the requirements of the
Didn't we
town.
approve that before?
That Jim will over.
Yeah, we approved that before anyway.
right,
But
but I
just
was,
reinforce
Yeah, the
it.
clarification, I get that.
I'll run it
No,
up
it's
the
fine.
food chain and see from these guys if they would want to,
Just let them know.
you know,
we
have it
approved it.
accepted by town council or
it,
whatever.
it has to, talk to the
All right.
town attorney.
So let's just move on a couple of these other things. Recreation 5-year plan, let's put that off to next meeting.
Middle school functional fields,
Middle school functional fields,
What do we have
that's
to do?
not, we're working on, we have to talk to the town manager, see who he wants the point person to be. Town manager's office, Jim, lacrosse, so whoever the point person's gonna be.
and
Make sure
Can-
yeah, the rec, I want rec to be in charge.
Yeah, I don't want to be in
Not-
charge of that.
We're,
right, but the
we're not in charge. We,
But the other issue
We
is
can't
that
be in
Over there.
the school department has to have something to say. 'cause
yeah, the work, they're just,
I don't have enough time to
they're
go
on
and
board with
I
everything.
don't know why it has
It's
anything to
just a
do with
maintenance
us
thing.
anyway.
Nothing's really changing, like, we're not putting,
It's going
you
in
know,
at the school.
not doing
Who's gonna-
shed,
where's
just
the
doing
budget money
lacrosse,
gonna
all-
come
they're still
from?
gonna
It ain't
maintain the
coming
fields, they're gonna mow the
It's not gonna be
lawns.
us, I don't
It's
think.
just getting redone, but they were on board with it.
one of the things, I know
I
you're
don't
coming
think-
to community preservation for it.
Yep.
We've got a rule in CPC,
I gotta go.
and we talked about this before, I think with with you guys,
If you leave, you become
that
chair.
it needs
What's
to,
that?
If you leave, you
there
become chair.
needs to be a formal agreement
No, no, I'm
between
voting for you to be
No.
chair. No, you gotta be.
the school.
You've never been one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's fine.
I got screwed out of it once, I'm not gonna.
It
let
has
that
to be.
Yeah.
One of the comments I've heard from people that listen to recordings about me.
Oh, Gina, you know
No,
what? You
Tom,
talk
Just
about-
let it
Just
go.
listen.
Just what, just have the comment.
The
Just-
comments is people just talk over everybody and they have no idea what's going on. But moving on from that, part of this formal agreement, it has to be written in that if the school decides to add on to the school and it takes away the
Oh,
field
Like
space,
an addition,
right?
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say we are not adding on, given the current financial situation, and the override not passed, we're not adding on to that school. I feel confident in that.
Right, but if I just finish with the
2,000 student
requirement.
goals.
Just, yeah, just in a timely
Then
fashion.
it has to be written into it, that CPA funds have to be paid back.
Yeah, that's fine.
and other things, Mark, I would think, for instance, being on a school grounds, you're not gonna have access to those fields at like 11 o'clock during a school day, you know,
Right,
stuff
you know,
like that.
No, it's just, it's
People
gonna,
have to know
it's
that,
gonna
so
make
that's
them.
gonna be in the agreement, I would think.
Right,
Yeah, no, because it's not, because it's, even though, because that's owned by the town of Bridgewater, but managed by the school district, so people just can't go on there anyway. But that, it's gonna make things better for lacrosse and football,
Right.
essentially, so it gives them
After
more
school
options, right?
hours.
right.
So I think, yes, but all of the legality, the formal stuff, that'll all be taken care of. RFP status, we don't care, hold on, 1 second, please. New business, reorganization.
Did we talk about the 5-year plan?
No, I
No,
put it
we're
off till
gonna
next
table it,
meeting, till
table it.
next month,
Okay,
table this next month.
Jim, RFP status for that bid that went out,
I think that for the campsites.
Yeah, I
that's
went out and there was no
No
bids.
bidders.
no response, okay.
So that's done, no response there.
Okay.
Back to new business, reorganization.
I motion Mark to be chairperson.
Second,
Third.
if he wants.
No, all in favor?
I'll take it one more time. All in favor?
Aye.
Gina motions, Dan seconded,
Mhm.
Dan seconded. No discussion? You guys don't want that
We're
bad?
speechless.
Yeah. With
All
the
right.
speechless.
Reorganization, I'm chair, vice chair. Who wants to be vice chair? Tom, you doing that again?
I'll do it.
We get a motion for Tom as vice chair.
Motion.
Motion.
Yep.
Tom.
Dan, motion. Mike seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Ryu will be vice chair. Okay,
Mhm.
all right,
Secretary.
let's,
Okay, I asked for these next couple
Okay.
of things to be on. Budget and capital funding.
Is there a
Talking-
secretary? Is there a secretary?
no, we just have
Oh,
chair.
Yeah.
We had a secretary one time.
No, but I didn't know
We used to.
in our organization if we had one like that.
We use,
used to.
we do have one, Allison does.
No, I
she
know.
does- Oh, structure wise within here,
Structure-wise
yeah.
Came here.
That's the best.
Budget and capital funding, what do you got, Gina?
In talking to Allison one day, she was saying how little Parks and Rec has gotten for capital, things just keep getting pushed back. I'd like to see a way that, don't know how. I did speak at the council meeting 2 weeks ago, that they can't cut departments anymore, Parks and Rec is at their bottom,
Mhm.
because they were talking about cutting departments.
Yep.
I just think somehow we need to advocate. I know Jim does a great job putting together a budget, but we just need to somehow push for, she was telling me how the trucks are old and falling apart and all.
No, that's in my role in the finance committee too, you know, I'm, just like when I was here, I told you guys, when you named me chair the first time, my biggest priority was Legion Field, and we were able to do a lot of things down in Legion Field, you know. In the finance committee, I 100% tell them I am there because Park and Rec needs money, and that's why I'm here. And I know it's not a direct way to get it, but when anything,
Yep.
I'm heavily influenced by getting Park and Rec as much as we can possibly get, and they are well aware of that, so
Right.
I'm advocating from
And I-
that end, it's just tough right now, but the little things we've done, pickleball, the money we get from Little League, football, softball, finally getting a decent amount from, club baseball, you know, those are the best things we can do now to help Jim keep things rolling.
Mhm.
Little League's doing a lot that they can to put money into the fields.
But for capital things like trucks and,
Trying, but based on what
That's
happened
nice.
with the override, I mean, I think it's gonna be a tough ride for a little while.
Oh, we did a lot with volunteers too. Replaced the 2 field goal posts, and replaced the 3 scoreboards.
right,
Yeah,
and
It didn't cost the town anything.
No, it is
Except for
also,
the scoreboard.
yeah,
It was hot that day.
and that was Little League.
What?
It was hot that day.
It was hot.
You were fine.
It actually,
Everybody else was fine.
actually, the town, we will give the town something for this, for powering up the scoreboards. We had to get a trench and run some wires, and it was, over $5,000 to bring, that's all right, thank you, Tom.
yeah,
Thank you.
procedure.
Jim, what was,
Hey, we used to bring 2
The-
groups every year, now we're down to 1, just,
Hey,
I have
the trenching that Bill Wolf did, what did that end up costing the town? It was over $5,000, wasn't it?
You're a venue, yeah.
When we were in the power from,
I don't know. Because last time he came into me,
I'm out
he
now.
was looking for some, money to pay some bills, this was like a week ago or something.
no, that was Little, I got that straightened out, Little League, but the town came up with the money to do that trenching work, right? So the town did that, so that was, the town did
Yeah.
there. But Little League, with the help of Mike, you know, we got new goalposts in, we got steel for the scoreboards, you know, that was, you know, all up, the Little League got donations to pay for the scoreboards, so those
Jimmy
were all.
Welch gave us
So,
the steel.
they gave us the steel,
Yeah,
Right.
there's some,
so we did,
Technically, gifts too, but
that's how Legion Field survived for years.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it's,
Unfortunately, the town doesn't.
people,
Trucks, they need,
wait, the things that he needs, we can't do anything about, other than, like I
right, but
said,
because we can,
some other fancy trucks, right?
What? I know
CPC, can CPC do anything for you?
Yes.
Okay.
no, I know that
I
we've
walked in
talked
and
about-
walked over, there was a brand new equipment.
once the new town manager gets set,
Right,
to have him come in.
Have him
That's something that I
Must
think
be-
we should
Yeah.
talk to him
no,
about. We
absolutely,
should make a list
Yeah.
of what we're gonna talk to
Jimmy
him.
should make a list.
absolutely.
Yep, Jim.
Uh,
Jim, you'll make a
procuring
list.
for,
I've given him all that.
Gina, what's C, what do you have on your mind with C here?
Yeah.
Things that if somebody wants to use
They're pretty good about giving me.
the
advice.
fields, they wanna use the pickleball courts.
Pass
We've
going into-
never got an
going into
application
field
from the
softball,
pickleball people. I know, I mentioned this at our last meeting, and I think you said we don't need it because it's the same thing. But I think we've always in the past
Credit.
An application for what?
to use
Like a
facilities,
tournament, I
to
don't know,
use
we
them
don't
like
get
a permit.
Yeah, tournament,
You gotta
for the tournament side.
No, for just their everyday usage.
No, what I said, but Little League doesn't do that either, so I
Little
mean,
League does.
we have a permit for,
Jim, you get requests for field use.
Yeah.
Facilities, he
Yeah,
gets them. And we should have them for every group.
Literally doesn't ask for a permit every day.
Yeah, not every game. They'll do,
Every
but
year.
they'll give us,
For the season.
I had them just fill out basically only
Yeah,
to
a
pretty
schedule.
much get the liability and what else I need? I guess pretty much the liability, and then all the games, they give us all the games.
yeah, they get the schedule
They're
already,
doing
so
a master
now.
schedule and you
Yeah.
block it up.
Yeah,
Right,
and
so we
just
should
put together-
have-
just for like coordination on knowing what, like, who's going.
Right, remember,
Yeah, she's done a good job of
we
that.
used to sign, get the applications.
Yeah, they bring it in, they,
Did pickleball get a permit for the tournament they just had?
No,
I didn't know anything about it.
So I'll hit him with a fee.
She told Allison,
Sure.
said, yeah, she goes, I don't know, he sent me an email about something regarding a tournament.
Well, that
I'm
would be
like, oh.
something we should get to them right away on.
Yeah, that's what.
You have a tournament.
She, I think, I'll check with her, but she already, and I think she already did. I gotta tell them that they gotta let us know, because those are the type of things that'll stir people up.
I think, I guess jumping back to
I told her to put it on the
pickleball, same thing.
website too, so.
We need to send Jeff, these guys that were here, whoever, what our motion was.
I got a list for her to, already, I got a list for her to write, send them basically
Right.
what the motion was.
And I think we,
And also to send, accept donation of bench to town council and just kind of check on the procedure.
Yeah.
That way we know.
I can work with.
I'll talk to Jay Rollins too, just to see if like what, does that blanket anything? Like if somebody wants to donate, I don't know, whatever.
Technical, yeah, because I asked Jason one night. And
I've been donating the land that connects to the town park for 3 years. Dutton was supposed to be doing it, and he never did the paperwork to take the donation. And I said to him, I don't want people working on my land getting hurt
Yeah.
during the construction. And he said, oh, I'm taking care of it. Every time I met with him, he said he's taking care of it, and he's never done it.
So
Think back to pickleball.
I
They
think
get
that
20% back to the town.
we
Is that
should
put in
have-
Your budget, 20%?
So it went into the enterprise fund.
use that form
It is
again.
about 20%.
We used to have a form,
$3,200.
Yeah, you get a decent
So
chunk.
you're getting it, I mean.
Yeah.
Something.
we used to have a form that people would fill out, like Little League. These are the days, da-da-da-da-da, softball. All this, I think we should go back to
No, we did, yeah, there's one.
using an official form.
Yeah, there's a form, I believe it's online. It's
It is.
basically a field use form.
Right.
It just says, you know, who you are, what sport it is, what field you want. There was some stuff, I added in like, no alcoholic beverages, stuff that's kind of like probably pretty obvious, but
Yeah.
But you better, because if you
Right.
don't say it, someone says.
I know,
"Oh,
that's why I'm like, it
I
doesn't say
agree.
we don't have it on
I think
there,
that's a
but
good
I
idea.
mean, I think
And
it's a given, but you can't assume anything's a given anymore.
Right, and I think we should go back to using that form for everything,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, couple
just
things,
standardized.
but along the lines of no alcohol, maybe, I don't know if it's up to us to decide this, maybe the town manager. If an event, whatever it is, a baseball tournament, whatever, is so large that they're required to get a police detail.
Mhm.
We have to do that, like, say, a
Yeah.
high school
True.
football
Good
game,
point.
you know, just something to consider.
Yeah,
And then the other thing is,
As
and I don't
Jason,
know, Mark, if we can do this, but moving forward, maybe with, permits. If we find out a group has a tournament or uses a field for fundraising efforts without a permit, we can back charge them somehow. Can we-
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I'm not sure if that's the right
Well,
term.
they're still gonna have to pay, like pickleball, with reach out, whatever the fee, is, whatever we charge pickleball for a tournament, Jim, whatever that fee is, they're gonna have to pay that fee.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, girls softball does that all the time, don't they?
what?
when they
Have
have the
tournaments?
showcase stuff, yeah, and that
And,
becomes,
and they don't get, do they get a permit? No,
That's a sticky one. They do, well, they let us know that they're having it.
it's not a permit.
What I have, they came in this year because the lights didn't work. And it also happened last year, where they said, the chopper, we had one at, I think you actually, didn't your son go down in it? The one at remember the one that went from that BP building at the golf course to remember that chopper, for the septic? We had a problem with that thing, so I said to him, I go, this is tough, because if you want the town to pay, if I start turning a bunch of bills, they're gonna ask questions. They're gonna wanna know, like,
yeah.
you know, what services are they using from us? How many, games do they have? How many?
This is the exact conversation I
So
have, because
that's what I said. So I said, be careful what you wish for, just because, you may not like.
they wanted to be on an island by themselves and pay the minimal amount, and we agreed to that. But like I told them, that's fine, but when these big ticket items, you have problems, that's on you guys to fix, and the president of the town was like,
That's exactly
no,
right.
I'm fine with that. He's
That's
like,
exactly what I told him. I said, because, the town, they're gonna wanna know, like, if you're asking a cop up, 25 grand for something, they're gonna wanna know, like, hey, how often are they using this? Do they have tournaments? Do they
Yeah.
have, did they
Some
make
of
money?
those
Did they?
showcases, I don't know if they still have them, a couple of years ago, they were.
They have a lot of.
they were fine with that when I, because that's what I said, because they were like, all right, so we're gonna pay you the money, and then if we need it, we'll come to you guys and tell you that's what we need. I'm like, yes, and they didn't
But
like
they
that. I
actually
was like, well,
went
if
with
the alternative is
No, that's a.
you pay the per head fee like the league does per player, and your other stuff is on you, but
That's the other thing.
when there's a problem,
I'm like, if we have-
you're on your own. And they were, no, I'd much rather have it that way.
No, I agree.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's,
they need to.
you can't have it both ways,
I mean, they did build it, and, Charlie built a lot of it, but they had a lot of volunteers building that.
Yeah, no, and that's,
Can you tell that was
that's
CPA,
the per player fee.
So you can see why they wanna control
Girls
it.
softball?
yes.
Right, but just you can't come to
Too many
us
people are talking
Good
on
about
the back part, yeah, right, you gotta,
Yeah,
it has
we
to
need to
work,
have
has to work both ways.
one conversation at a time.
All right, so that was
Okay.
fields use, okay,
Right,
I gotta run pretty soon. so
can
we'll wrap
we
this up.
send the other things real quick? When Allison sends a letter to pickleball saying what our motion was, also include one of the field usage forms. just so we have on the record what they're asking for, what we
tournaments?
decide. Not just for.
Just their regular league, just their regular, just have
Right.
regular, all right, so one filled out,
Right, and then also say if there's to be a tournament to
yeah, that's set.
do a separate one.
Yeah. That's-
Okay, Lake Nipponicket is a big issue right now.
It is a big issue. I think there's a lot of people swimming in there,
Yeah. Why, I don't know, but
people in the apartments next door,
it's,
going over and jumping in the water and Cam and I went to go fish, a week and a half ago and we pulled in and there was probably 20 people.
do you have a boat?
No,
Oh,
I was just gonna fish offshore. I had like 20
I
minutes.
was gonna say, I'm looking right with you.
But they,
Go up by Rosinas is if you can park, a little, you can fish.
Yeah.
fish.
well, they, yeah.
There's,
But there was like 20 people right there by the boat ramp, just bathing,
Talking.
swimming.
Lot of big
Now,
fish.
You're talking
Now,
about
does anyone
sending
check the
people
water
going to
pollution?
pickleball and letting them know any future tournaments till the Southwest know. That's what
well,
you said.
no, fill it,
Highway's supposed to
Fill it
maintain
out
it, so I
for
suppose
the
they're the ones
regular-
responsible.
They
for
filled
signing
After
it. Like,
Friday hours.
They filled that out, they filled that out.
There is, that's right, there is. I mean, it
They
was,
didn't do it.
I think the people that
Right.
are enjoying it.
Never been to a beach before?
okay, that, I,
They thought they were the Cape.
I had a phone call today from
They
a
let it go.
resident at the NIP. And in talking, she said that, because I couldn't remember if the state owned, I know they own the lake and the ramp.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure about the parking lot. She said the state owns the whole thing. And she said there is an agreement between the town, as far as the upkeep of everything, between the town and the state. And
Mhm.
Paul, is he the highway guy? DPW.
He's a supervisor.
Right, she said he's pretty good, and I said how last year Jim and the highway department went down and trimmed everything, so it was good.
Well, that's probably, what's the engineer's name? He's the boss.
Greg?
No,
A zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a-
he's the guy that's in charge.
Right, so,
he's done well for himself.
right, so I
He's in
just,
love with himself?
I said he's done well for himself.
I just asked that that be put up and just,
What a piece of.
so,
He is a before.
so people know that we're addressing it.
Okay.
Technically, it's a thing.
Okay. Cemeteries, yes, they fall under us, but who takes care
They,
of them?
they fall under us.
Yep.
Why? We,
It's in the charter, they start in the charter.
they. So
That was never, we were never in charge of cemeteries before.
No,
we
I-
have been for a long
A
time.
long time.
We've
Yeah.
just not
It
done
was in there.
anything.
When I started, they said, and I said,
We talked about
Paul
this
can do
before.
it, Paul
Yeah.
mows it.
But there
I don't think
will
he
be,
doesn't want to.
somebody's getting.
Calvin, we've had a lot of people question the cemeteries in town, especially the first cemetery by the Mobiles.
Well, what do we have for town cemeteries anyway?
A lot.
There's like
One
17
across
of
from the
them.
junior
I
high
just
school.
say 17.
That's town?
Is it
One across
17
junior
or
high?
37?
Oh,
17?
37, I don't know.
I don't know, there's quite a few,
There's a bunch of little ones that sometimes you ride by and it just,
Don't
they're
know
all
that.
family.
right?
There's one on
So-
South Street.
So Carlton Hunt
Pass
is for
Cross.
community preservation.
There's one at the corner cross in Vernon.
Yep, there's one in Titicum.
Connecticut.
There's a lot of them.
Main
that
Street.
a town owned. He's getting prices that CPC could do that, like to restore the stones, to stand them up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's not use all that CPC money and stuff that's not related to Legion Field. Taking a lot.
Um,
And that
Some of the
earmark,
cemeteries are
quite
run
How does-
by.
how does it get-
Some of it, right.
Cemetery.
Here,
like,
her and,
Boston
Count-
is-
Yeah, that's,
Right.
yeah, the one at,
Right,
No, I get it.
sometimes, you know, they used to say
Yeah,
Thomas,
Center-
right?
yeah,
That was
St.
their
Thomas,
in the
yeah.
town hall.
Center Street.
excuse me,
How's he do that?
there's comments. I've heard of swearing in our meetings.
I didn't use, I didn't use it.
No, I got it just overheard mine.
No, you
And I know you get frustrated.
just trying to yell at us. Jeez.
Okay,
Like, watch them.
yeah, just.
Okay, so cemeteries, CPC, restore stuff,
Right,
right?
so we're looking into that.
Okay.
It would probably, the application would
Yeah, it was you.
go through Parks and Rec. We're
Okay.
just updating on that, but we get all the.
Oh, okay, once you, yeah, that's fine, yeah,
Right.
that's fine.
Additional items for discussion, the town code, we don't have to discuss this now, but just something to keep in mind. The town code says, and I've said this many times, Parks and Recreation Commission, authorities and responsibilities. Parks and Recreation Commission advises and otherwise assists the town manager in the establishment of rules and regulations concerning the use and maintenance of all athletic fields, playgrounds, parks, recreational areas, and golf course.
Yeah.
What about
We
cemeteries?
know that, we know that.
The cemeteries further down.
What's, I get that, so where are we going with this?
We don't. Basically, and maybe things will change. Basically, in the past, the town manager has told us what we were doing. As like an example, the golf course.
Yeah, no, I know, I get, we don't need to turn that stone over, but no, I
But I'm
understand.
just saying, I just use that for an
Right,
example.
we communicate with them through,
Jim,
I mean, I
we
think
advise them through Jim, everything we do is through
we
Jim.
could give them all the suggestions, but they don't have to.
Right, they don't have to do it, it's up to them to find a way to fund them too, so we can give them a million ideas, but
but
it's,
they do, interactions with the town manager. Parks and Recreation Commission interacts with the town manager through the superintendent of Parks and Recreations to ensure that rules and regulations concerning playgrounds, all the things, are effective. So we just have to make sure, because it seems to me that this RFP that went out, did we have Parks and Rec Commission have any say in it?
well,
No, I just think that.
no, I totally understand what you're saying, I think the influx, the instability is what's going on in the last 2 years in the town manager's office.
Mhm,
Look, we give it, he just started in July.
right,
I say we give it maybe a September or October meeting, let him get settled, let's not be, let's,
but we
we
should,
wanna get a working relationship with him,
right,
we give him that, we'll invite him to a meeting. I'll try to establish some kind of relationship with him, and then we'll see where we go from then, yes, and then what we can do is bring the charter to his attention,
mhm,
and then,
right.
Chip
That's what I'm
off
just
that
trying to say, we should.
absolutely,
We
I
should
know,
do that.
I'm certainly in favor of that,
Okay.
100%.
The last thing is, and I,
You said that 300.
It's- no, I didn't. Okay, really.
My son's game starts in
Last
2
thing.
minutes.
Okay,
2 minutes.
styles and heart signs. We have ultimately, even though CPC has paid for it, the actual signage has to be decided by Parks and Rec, which is basically John Hart for it.
Yep.
But just to bring it up then, if we can have John
All right,
do that,
just have John, give us a sign, show us what the sign's gonna look like,
what he wants for signs.
okay.
So sign, the main sign was ordered without John's input, without CPC's
Well, that's,
input.
those are the things that we can start,
Right,
reestablish that
Right.
relationship.
I just wanted to get those out there. I'm done. Will you let John know?
Motion to adjourn.
Go to talk to him about signs.
Motion to adjourn, second, second by Mike, all in favor?
I-
Meeting is adjourned at 5:59 PM. Thank you.
mhm.
Is that off now?